Hello there everybody, you're welcome back to St Loman's Park Trim for this very important Junior Football Championship match between Trim and Ratoath. It's a winner-take-all fixture with the winners going directly to the final of the Premier Junior Championship. The Trim line-out today will see Peter Farrell in goals, deputising for Peter Brennan, who was used as a late sub for the seniors yesterday, so hence he can't play junior anymore. Dylan Farrell, a corner back, number 2. Luke Moore in full back, 3. Left full back is Owen Sweeney wearing 4. Half back line is David Murta wearing 5, Darrell Phelan wearing 6, and Paul Munley wearing 7. Midfield is Frankie Murphy and Dimmy Higgins. Half forward line wearing 10 is Patchy Quigley. Centre forward James Cullen, and left half forward wearing 12 is Mikey Cole. Mikey Cullen is an absentee through injury who will be a big loss. Full forward line is Shawnee Foley wearing 13, Owen McGrath, Bug number 14, and right full forward is James Murray wearing number 13, I think, but we'll sort that out in a minute. Welcome to everybody that's watching and listening. I hear Mick Fay is online already, one of a steadfast followers and one of the best footballers ever to line out in a red/green jersey. So I'm joined today by Rory Dowling, who will be co-commentating, and the big man John Andrews is on camera once again, and I believe director and producer John Andrews. Rory, vital match for Trim. With a bit of luck we get a good start. Ratoath will be strong. It's a grudge match from last year where they were beaten in the quarter final.
That's right, and Ratoath actually went on to win the competition, and with the restructuring of the championship they weren't promoted. Obviously they stayed at this grade, so they're very, very strong, and I see Brian Power lining out at centre back for them, so he'll certainly be a big addition and be driving them forward. Both teams have won their first 2 games quite comfortably, beating Duleek Bellewstown and St Pat's. My reckoning of it is that Trim are slightly ahead on points difference, so I think a draw today might actually see Trim qualify for the final, but I think they're going to be up against it here this morning.
Good man, Rory. Obviously an accountant, has his figures done. So the referee today is Aidan Dalton. We're unsure of the club. It's a beautiful day here in Trim. It's a little cool in the stand area where we are, but on the pitch it's a gorgeous sunny day. So no excuses for weather, wind or nothing. Slight breeze may be favouring into the town end, but really nothing worth talking about. Trim are playing from the town end towards the floodlit pitch, and we're almost ready to start. Referee Aidan Dalton with the ball in his hand. Midfielders for Ratoath are number 9 Peter Barry, and actually number 6 Brian Power is lining out in the middle of the field, and he's a big strong unit, and Frankie Murphy seems to be picking him up. So we're all set for this vital match. Win or bust. Ball thrown in by referee. Frankie goes high and gathered by Dimmy, who loses possession, and it's whipped along the ground to number 11 Brian Daly for Ratoath. He passes it on there to 9 Peter Barry for Ratoath and gives it on into corner forward. A big unit, Shawnee Johnson, not the Cavan. Shawnee Johnson takes a shot at goal, going wide, but Peter Farrell grabs it and plays a nice ball out towards Patchy Quigley, who's wearing 10 today. Patchy on the ball now for Trim, finds Frankie Murphy in the middle of the field. Frankie will give the big long boot with the left foot. Bad change into Dimmy, back to Frankie. Here's Frankie again. Munners is free here on the right hand side, but he gives it to Darrell Phelan, who loses possession. Frankie gets again, gives it out to Paul Munley on the left half back position. Munners takes a solo, gives a nice ball there in towards James Cullen, but it's cut out by his marker, Darren McGill. Darren, number 4, who's playing centre back, gives it there to Brian Power, who's a big unit in the middle of the field. Here comes Ratoath on the attack again, gives a nice ball in towards full forward Jack Lanigan. Lanigan is beaten by Luke Moore, but recovers again and then fouls. Who have we there? Fouls Old Sweeney as he going for the ball. So it's a free out to Trim. Early stages, nervous enough sort of stuff, Rory.
Yeah, and I just want to see how the teams are shaping up. It seems to be fairly traditional layout, no sweepers or anything involved. 13 for James for Trim. James Murray is playing a little bit deep, but James Cullen seems to have gone inside, so early stages, the wind not a factor at all here.
Ball cut out again, quite a few mistakes early on. Darren McGill grabs the second ball of the game and gives it there to wing back Gavin Horn. Horn takes the free to a free man inside, all on his own. Red boots will make him out in a minute. Right foot kick, and it's gone wide for first wide of the game for Ratoath. Number 15, that was Nathan Dunn. So Peter Farrell, who is first game in goals this year, but a very effective keeper normally, kicks out. Big ball out to the middle of the field where Mikey Cole and James Murray are under. A brilliant fetch by Murray. Munners gives a lovely ball in towards James Cullen, who has 2 yards on his man here. He's been picked up by number 4, Darren McGill, in towards 11 for Trim. Turning in, it hits the post and just goes wide. Nice shot there by James Cullen, just hits the outside of the right hand post and goes wide. So team's very level so far, 2.5 minutes played. Kick out coming from Darragh McPartland, short ball out to the middle of the field to number 7 for Ratoath, Gavin Horn, who gives the ball down towards number 12 Munners, but Munners intercepts, gives it to Mikey Cole. Mikey takes the ball on, lovely ball to James Cullen, who's getting space from his marker but fumbles a bit of ball. James on the ball, gives a very high ball into a small man, Shawnee Foley. That should be cleared up by cornerback Mick Lavin, who gives it on there to Gavin Horn. Poor ball there from James to a small man. He needs to be putting it much lower along the ground towards him. Ratoath here in the attack again. Brian Power goes for the ball, takes the ball through the tackle towards Dimmy, but Dimmy stands him up, gives the ball back here, and it's on there to centre forward Brian Daly, who's way ahead of his man Darrell Phelan. Daly gives the ball back towards his other wing forward, and the ball comes into the big man Johnson again, who gathers nicely and claims a mark. Nicely played there by Ratoath. So the new rule, Johnson has 15 seconds to take the free when he gains a mark, so he's a big strong man. He's a good right foot, I'd say. Kicks the ball in for Ratoath's second wide of the game, and nice mark, won by 13. He's a big unit, Rory.
Yeah, I know Shawnee well, having worked with him in some of the Mead minor setups there over the years. He's a big strong man. So I'm just looking at the way the Ratoath full forward line, the 3 full forwards are staying right in the middle of the pitch when Ratoath are defending, and when they move the ball forward they're breaking out towards the wings to try and create the space.
2 great kickouts there by Peter Farrell, both won by James Murray. Ratoath on the attack again though from the breakdown. Here comes the centre forward again for Ratoath, Brian Daly. Daly still in possession, gives the ball in there towards full forward Lanigan. Lanigan is dispossessed by Luke Moran and gives it on to Frankie Murphy. Luke full back coming up the field, gives a lovely ball to Bug McGrath, who's out in front of his man, gathers lovely. McGrath takes on the tackle, gives a nice ball with the left foot, a much better ball towards Shawnee Foley, who looked to be fouled but not given the free, taken out by Cormac Butler. Butler gives it back there to number 2 Mick Lavin, and back to Brian Power and back to Butler again. Butler moving forward, Ratoath moving nicely with pace here, gives it on there to number 10 Tiernan Ahern, gives it back to 12 Jack McGowan. McGowan is fouled by David Murta, and it's a free into Ratoath with almost 5 minutes gone in the first half and no score yet. Number 10 Tiernan Ahern looks to be taking this free from exactly 50 yards out. Looks like a difficult shot for this standard of play, but let's have a look and see how he gets on. That's the 3rd wide for Ratoath, all on the one side. Maybe the wind would be blowing over that way a little bit. Rory, what do you think?
Yeah, it seems to be, we can feel a bit of breeze up here in the up in the gantry here, but the flags seem to be fairly limp, so I'm not sure. It's just a couple of bad shots, a couple of wild shots there from Ratoath. They've got good possession though. They've started well. Peter Farrell out again, comes towards Patchy Quigley. Breaking ball is punched on there to Tiernan Ahern. Tiernan Ahern on the attack with the going on the right foot. Nice solo. Over carries slightly, but still going through. Gives the ball in towards 14 Jack Lanigan, but it's misplaced, and Peter Farrell comes out and gathers the ball. Here comes Dylan Farrell onto the ball now. Dylan picked it clean off the ground but got away with it and gets a free. Very lucky there. Now Dylan looks like he's retaliating. He was lucky to get the free in there. He fouled it first, then he got fouled himself, so he was lucky. He should just walk away. Munners has the ball in his possession now, ready to take a free out to Trim. Gives a small ball there to Frankie, who does well to win his ball. Big and strong Frankie, very experienced, and is fouled by 12 Jack McGowan for Ratoath, and Frankie's on the ball again. Short ball to Darrell Phelan. Darrell likes to carry the ball. Toe taps it. Still on the ball, Darrell Phelan gives it off to Dimmy Higgins. Dimmy takes it through the tackle and gives a ball up, a fantastic ball towards James Cullen. James wins it, brilliant. James is carrying it through. If he gives it to McGrath, we have a score here. McGrath is in. Oh, great save by keeper. James Cullen gets ball again and kicks the ball
wide, but he's foul, and it's a free in for Trim. Marvellous move there from a great ball first from Dimmy Higgins to James Cullen. Played McGrath in at the right time, and a brilliant save there by Darragh McPartlin, the Ratoath keeper. But Trim still, James Cullen was fouled in the process of a second attempt, and we're going to have a free in just from the 14-yard line. Owen McGrath, many years experience for Trim, should be able to tap this over the bar, and probably somewhat against the run of play, Trim should take the lead. McGrath taps it over for the first score of the game. So Trim 1 point, Ratoath no score, and a good score for Ratoath. A little bit against the run of play, Rory.
Certainly was, but I think the great ball from Dimmy Higgins there just opened up the Ratoath defence, so we'll take that.
Kick out from Ratoath goes very close to near sideline here, and it's gone over right there where Munner stands on it. Should give a little punted pass there. Misses the opportunity, but he still does it to Dimmy. Dimmy's on the ball. James Murray is free in the middle of the field. He finds James. James is playing a grand game so far. Gives a nice ball there to Mikey Cole. Two good hurlers on the senior hurling team. Oh well, not quite yet. Great ball from James Murray towards David Murta, who's moved forward. David Murta plays a terrible ball in there. James Cullen made a fantastic run. This 10 now has the ball. Gives it on there to the other wing forward. Carries the ball through and past the halfway line, and gives another ball in there towards big Shawnee Johnson. But Dylan Finnerty has him nicely covered this time and plays it well. The ball goes wide. In fact, Shawnee Johnson wasn't too pleasant in what he did there, and the ball going out over the sideline, and I'd say he could be a yellow card here, Rory.
Shawnee can be a bit exuberant at times in his challenges, but he had a little kick there roughly in the direction of the ball, but the referee is going in to take his word. He might get booked here for this one, CJ, I'd say. But that score hopefully will settle Trim down. That, just after the score, they had another one or two nice passages of play. David's attempted pass inside just skewed off his boot, but James Cullen is making good runs in behind the defence there, so maybe if Trim can get the ball in fast into him, we could it might pay some dividends.
So kick out coming again from Peter Farrell. Shawnee Johnson did get a yellow card for that terrible challenge. Great ball from Peter out to the middle of the field. Frankie goes up. Dimmy was waiting for the break, but 12 comes in and collects the break. Jack McGowan gives it on to Brian Power, who hand passed into full forward Jack Lanigan. Luke tackles him and fouls him 70 yards out. Ratoath are on the ball again. Number 12 Jack McGowan with ball in hand, ready to take the free. Not much movement up ahead. Gives a ball there, but towards Nathan Dunn, who's Owen Sweeney's marker, and Dunn fouls the ball. Owen Sweeney just stood his ground and played nicely. Dylan Farrell gives it back to Peter Farrell. Peter Farrell in goals takes it out onto the 14-yard line and hand passes it to Frankie Murphy. Dangerous area for Frankie to get the ball. Picked up by full forward. Oh Jesus, that was a terrible mistake by Trim. Frankie dispossessed on his own 14-yard line. First point for Ratoath, and that's coming from centre forward, I think, Brian Daly. That really should have been cleared out, Rory. It was too much messing in the full back line.
Yeah, it's kind of a feature of the modern game, CJ, isn't it, where teams try to work the ball out from the back, and it just sometimes it just doesn't work out. Frankie got caught. It was a poor enough ball by Peter, but Frankie was caught flat-footed.
Ball out again towards the middle of the field where James Murray is onto it, but number 5 there, Ryan Kelly, comes in ahead of Mikey Cole, and number 11 Brian Daly picks the ball up. Back to number 8 John Walsh for Ratoath. Walsh gives the ball on again there to number 12 Jack McGowan, who gets the return pass from number 5, and McGowan goes through with the left foot, kicks a wild shot up into the air where Peter Farrell comes out nicely, gathers well and gives it off to David Murta at right half back. He should carry the ball quite a little bit up the field. Still going, David looks up, blocked again. David, he needs to give the ball a little bit quicker. Came on again by Brian Power. Ball coming down the field where Nathan Dunn picks it up. Dunn breaks the tackle, gives it on in there to Shawnee Johnson again. Johnson is out in front of Dylan Farrell this time. Passes off again to Jack Lanigan, full forward. Lanigan has a shot and hits the post again. Two balls hitting the post, one either way, where Darryl Phelan picks the ball up. Darryl carries it out towards the 14-yard line. Free on his right is Dylan Farrell, but he keeps going, gives the ball to Frankie, who just about gathers possession. Dangerous stuff from Trim. Frankie gives the trusted left foot down towards Shawnee Foley, who breaks inside his man Mick Blavill. Shawnee's quick and small but very good. Shawnee's in towards the 14-yard line, carries the ball towards the end line. Bug is available outside. man available in the middle if he can find him. Owen McGrath still in possession. Gives the ball to Mikey Cole. Mikey has a shot which goes over the bar. Beautiful score from Trim. They're keeping their noses in front, despite kind of Ratoath having a little bit more possession. They worked that nicely, Rory. You notice James Murray is out really around the middle of the field. Sorry, we'll come back to you in a minute, Rory. Nice kick out from Ratoath, who gains the mark from the kick out. 11. Brian Daly with the ball, gives it off to number 5, Ryan Kelly. Kelly gives it on again now to Brian Daly. Brian goes at Philo, his marker, cuts back inside, ball on the 50-yard line, not much options, back out there to Nathan Dunn. Trim defence are doing well to pick up their men. Frankie Murphy is inside, kind of playing a bit sweeper. Ball towards Nathan Dunn, but well bought out by David Murta off Nathan Dunn. Good defending there. Darrell Phelan coming out the field. This would be a great time to turn around the score if we could do it. Philo carries the ball to exactly the half forward, and James Cullen makes a great run inside, and it's found by Darrell Phelan. Great ball by James Cullen. He should have popped it off to Mikey Cole. Comes back inside again. Shawnee Foley in possession. Shawnee takes it on. Can he get a score? Wide ball. First wide for Trim. Jesus, that would have been a lovely score, Rory, from a good attack from Ratoath.
Yeah, the first wide from Trim. Trim just been a little bit more clinical in front of the goals. Ratoath have had a lot of ball, but they've kicked some wild shots in towards the goal. So Trim can just keep in this game just for the next 10 or 15 minutes. I think the game will settle down for them.
So 2 points to 1 the score with we'll give you the time in 1 second. 13 minutes gone. It'll be the water break in 2 minutes. Nice move here from Ratoath. Wing back comes forward but hits another high hopeless ball that Munners and Peter Farrell should be able to deal with. Munners gets it very nicely. Dylan Fillerty's available out the side, but Munners carries the ball on, gives a lovely ball there on to Patchy Quigley. Patchy inside the Trim half still carries the ball to the half forward line. Patchy still with the ball, gives a nice ball. James Cullen's getting very free from his man all the time, but he's blocked again. Ball comes back towards David Murta. James Cullen's on the ball again. Carries the ball on, gives a nice little ball there to Shawnee. Shawnee fails to win possession. That ball should have been won. Nice touch right in front of him. He just was easily dispossessed, and then he fouled his man. So game still very even. 2 points to 1. Trim leading with time almost coming to the first water break. Ratoath slow build up here comes to number 8 John Walsh, who carries the ball over the 50-yard line and gives the ball down towards Shawnee Johnson, who's been marked by Dylan Finnerty. Johnson gets the ball just about out in front of Shawnee. Dylan just needs to stay with him. Shawnee's in the book already. Holds the ball up, gives the ball in towards Jack Lanigan full forward, who's very well dispossessed by Luke Moran for a Ratoath sideline ball. So coming now towards the water break, 14 and a half minutes gone. Ratoath with the sideline kick. Shawnee Johnson is going to take it. Trimmer nice and tight with their men, gives it on there to wing forward. Tiernan Ahern with the right foot takes it to the 21, gives it back out to Shawnee Johnson. Shawnee Johnson gives it back there to number 5 Ryan Kelly, who's been tackled by Mikey Cole. Good defender by Trim, no fouling. Standing up strong back to Shawnee Johnson, who's been involved with this about 5 times, and kicks a score or a great ball in with the left foot, but just gone wide for Ratoath's 4th wide of the game. Shawnee Johnson's on a lot of ball, Rory.
He is. But if he keeps shooting like that now, Trim will be happy. And as well as the 4 wides, they've dropped 2 or 3 balls in around the goalkeepers as well. So
kick out towards the middle of the field where Brian Power wins the ball very effectively ahead of Dimmy Higgins. Here come Ratoath again. Ball right inside to Jack McGowan, who's way inside and coming inside, cutting in with the left foot. Good save by Peter Farrell. Luke Moran is under it again, and Rowan Sweeney comes out with the ball and there's foul coming out. That was great defending. Peter Farrell's playing very well in goals. His kickouts are fantastic. We'll get back to you in a minute, Rory. Munners takes the ball out, gives the ball on to Philo. Philo is almost caught in possession, but he takes it on. Oh, and he loses it again. Has he been fouled? No, he's been dispossessed. Philo is just too slow with the ball. He should have passed it off much quicker. Trim have lost possession now, and back with Shawnee Johnson again. Shawnee takes a shot, and once again, thanks be to God, Shawnee kicks it wide, probably for his 3rd wide of the game. Very pretty exciting stuff, Rory. It's are we on the water break? It's I think he's given the water break. So 15 minutes gone. Trim 2 points, Ratoath 1. Probably Ratoath more possession, but Trim looking a little bit more clinical, Rory.
Yeah, absolutely. Ratoath have a lot of ball, but as we've mentioned a few times already, some of the shooting has been pretty wild from Ratoath. Trim, when they do move the ball, look quite good. There's plenty of space, and we've got their forwards look lively. I'd like to see Owen McGrath maybe get on the ball a little bit more. He's only got 1 or 2 touches, but he's been superb. He's been superb so far in this competition. And of course, Trim, you mentioned already in the build-up, Trim missing Mikey Cullen, who's been excellent as well at the inside forwards. But in fairness, Shawnee and the boys are shown there, but they just need to get the ball in a little bit quicker. James Murray, as you've mentioned, is out. James Cullen has gone inside. James Murray is out around the middle of the field, and he's been effective helping to pick up some ball. So all in all, I think Trim would be quite happy coming to the water break to be a point in front.
Just to mention our sponsors, the main sponsor, Super Value. This broadcast is brought by them. Tom Leenan of James Griffin Pub for supply of all water for water breaks to all teams, and Ted Murta Clothing and Footwear.
So we're getting ready to line up for the second quarter here. Very interesting match. Very little between these two teams. Trim in the half back line are getting a little bit caught. Philo was caught a couple of times in possession. He needs to probably just get the ball, move it very quickly, and give it into where James Cullen is in quite a bit of space. Mikey Cole is doing nicely enough. Patchy Quigley okay. So we're about to start the second quarter now, and very little between these two teams, to be honest. Kick out started, and Peter Farrell finds Owen Sweeney with it, takes it on towards the 50-yard line. He gives it off to Frankie Murphy. Frankie was going to kick it, then he solos, gives it off to his midfield counterpart Dimmy Higgins. Dimmy is held up there around the middle of the field, but he takes it on through. Not much movement ahead of him at this stage. James Murray with the ball, gives a lovely ball to Shawnee. He must win this one, Shawnee, and he does, and he cuts inside. He's coming in towards the goals. Shawnee with the left foot, wide ball for Trim. Shawnee was almost easier to score than missed there, but Shawnee missed it, so it's only Trim's second wide after 16 minutes of play. Quick kick out from Ratoath to number 5, Ryan Kelly, who takes the ball down the field, but Bug is there to tackle him and holds him up, and he give it off to his full back, who's Cormac Butler. Butler with the ball. Owen McGrath is doing all the shadowing here, and he takes it on there to Ryan Kelly again. Trim are holding him up nicely here. They're just going a bit horizontal with the ball. Ratoath, number 9, Peter Barry, takes it on and gives it on there again to centre forward Brian Daly. Daly, who scored 1 point, gives it on there to full forward Jack Lanigan, or Jack McGowan. Ball out there, but it dropped short again. Ratoath have dropped a number of balls short, and Farrell gathers quite easily again and on to Munners. Gives it on there to David Murta, who takes the ball into the tackle and carries it on to the 50-yard line. Good ball from David over to Frankie Murphy. Frankie was going to drive again, but he gives a short ball to James Murray. Not much movement up front. Great ball by James Murray. Can James Cullen win it? Wins his mark inside. Fantastic. Great ball from James Cullen towards Bug in on the 14-yard line. But another good save. 2 saves from the keeper, McPartlin, both from Owen McGrath. Super ball from James Murray to James Cullen. Cullen took the mark, then took the ball quickly into Owen McGrath. Number 7 for Ratoath, Gavin Horn is playing the ball down the field towards full forward Jack Lanigan, who's been shielded off by Owen Sweeney. Gives it in there to centre forward Brian Daly. Brian Daly has options either side, takes it through on towards the 21-yard line, shoots with the left, and that could be over the bar, and it is. Brian Daly's second point of the game. He's the sole scorer for Ratoath, and after 20 minutes the score is 2 points each. Very tight match here. That Brian Daly looks okay, Rory, for we'll come back in a sec, Rory. Good kick out again from Pizzi and gives it to Frankie, who wins a mark in the middle of the field. Frankie kicks a bad ball towards centre forward Brian Power, who puts his boot to it, and it's gone over for a sideline just at the dugout where David Murtle take it and plays a ball into nice ball to Shawnee Foley, who should have won that ball again, and ball has gone out for a sideline. Couple of balls there to Shawnee, should have won, Rory.
Yeah, but he's making the space. Just hopefully he'll grab onto one of them now and get inside his man. They look dangerous when they get in there, but the Ratoath goalkeeper has done very well so far as well.
Number 9, Peter Barry, takes the ball on towards the 50-yard line for Ratoath. Gives it on again to Big Shawnee, who's tackled by Dylan Finnerty, and Shawnee takes another shot, and this time it's over the bar for his first score of the game for Sean Johnson. Ratoath go into a narrow lead, 3 points to 2, with 21 minutes played. Peter Farrell with the ball, kick out again, lovely kick out from Peter, finding his man every time, left or right. Owen Sweeney takes the ball on from cornerback position, gives a nice ball to Dimmy, who's clean by his man, takes it through into the Ratoath half. A big ball in. Is he fouled? He's not, but number 2 Mick Lavin collects the ball ahead of Shawnee Foley. Nathan Dunn, the corner forward, very deep here for Ratoath, carries the ball down towards the midfield position, gives a nice ball in there towards Jack Lanigan. Luke Moran is right type of him, but Lanigan wins the ball well, gives it back to Nathan Dunn. Dunn with another hopeless high kick which goes wide. Aimless, some of that kicking is aimless from Ratoath, isn't it, Rory?
It is just a point. I think the referee, in fairness, was letting the game go. There's a lot of challenges that you might see blowing up, but he seems to be letting the game go for both sides. So hopefully, on a beautiful fine day like this, the game will open up now. We'll have a lot more scores.
Pizzi find a beautiful kick out again to Dimmy Higgins, a feature of the game, or Peter's kick out. He's going great. Phelan gets the ball. This is where he likes possession. He takes the ball at pace through 50 yards out, finds Bug with the ball. Could be a lovely score for Trim, or a very good block there by Cormac Butler. Ball back to Patchy Quigley, who has a shot from 14 yards out, and a beautiful score from Patchy. Lovely move there from Trim. So that's Trim's third point of the game from 3 different scorers: Quigley, Mikey Cole and Oni McGrath. So 3 points each. Lovely score from Trim. James Cullen is playing almost in a 2-man full forward line, Rory. He's in the full forward position with James Murray out really round as a third midfielder.
Yeah, and Owen McGrath seems to be dropping off too and trying to make the run from deep. James is doing very well, James Murray, in fairness. He looks very lively. So it's because he just slight delay in the play here as the centre forward recovers after Dimmy had clashed in the middle of the field, but he's up and on his feet and we're ready to go.
So kick out coming again for Ratoath. Their kick out is going to their players also. The Trim kick out has been excellent so far. Not a ball has gone wrong. Left footer here, McPartlin kicks the ball out towards Frankie, but Darrell Phelan was lucky his man didn't get the ball. He was a good bit away from him. Frankie gives it to Dimmy. Dimmy takes the ball through again, but gives a poor ball again away to where it's gathered by Gavin Horn at left half back. Number 9 clears the ball, Peter Barry, down towards Tyrone Ahern, but David Murta wins a nice ball in the half back line and gives a brilliant ball there to James Cullen. I know he's my own, but it was a very good ball. James Cullen breaks through the tackle, but he's dispossessed by Ratoath. Very good defending by Ratoath. 15, Nathan Dunn carries the ball down towards Big Shawnee again. Dylan has his hands full here. Big Shawnee, a big unit, stands up left and right, takes the ball, gives a good ball in towards the centre where Mullers doesn't cut it out, but it's well defended by Owen Sweeney. Brilliant play by Owen Sweeney. Gives it back to Frankie Murphy. Frankie gives a great ball to Mikey Cole, who has an acre of space in front of him. He needs to carry on. Dimmy is with him. Will he find Dimmy? No, he gives it into Shawnee. Must win ball, Shawnee. Shawnee wins it, gives it to Dimmy in the middle of the field. No, nobody in front of him. Cuts in towards his right. Cuts back. Oh, he's nearly fouled the ball. Gives it to Shawnee. Shawnee into Patchy Quigley. Patchy gathers at the second attempt. Breaks through the tackle. Is he fouled? He is. Well done, Patchy Quigley. That's lovely football. The Trim forwards are doing very nicely, Rory.
They are, with limited possession. They're doing very well. I think that was a soft enough free. Now I just mentioned the referee letting things go there a minute ago, and I think that looked soft enough now in the context of this game. But we'll take it. And Owen McGrath is just preparing himself, I think, to take this free. So hopefully it's 24, 25 metres out, pretty much straight in front. So hopefully it's a standard tap over point.
So Oni stands up, ball 21 yards out, 25 minutes gone, 5 minutes left in the first half. Does this put Trim back into the lead? Jesus, Oni's put that one wide. Not good from 14 yards there. For Trim's third wide of the game, 3 points each. An easy enough free miss by Oni there. Kick out coming with the left foot again for Ratoath, who tries to find number 8, but Patchy Quigley, who's having a grand match, wins his ball there 50 yards out, carries the ball through, gives it to James Cullen, goes through 3 players, James, and is badly fouled. That could be a black or yellow for number 7 Gavin Horn. James Cullen, Patchy Quigley did very well there again, Rory.
He did. He won his ball, and when he's been making some very good runs down that far side there in the first half, and he's kicked the score as well. So he's doing very well. Seems to have picked up a bit of a knock in that passage of play. I hope he's okay. No, he's just fixing his gloves. And Owen this time puts the ball over the bar.
So Oni recovers from the last free. The other one was much easier, but he got the score to make it his second point. Trim 4 points, Ratoath 3 with 3.5 minutes left in an entertaining first half. McPartlin kicks the ball out again, comes towards David Murton. Tiernan Ahern, won by Tiernan Ahern, but goes out over the sideline. Trim ball, a little bit of a Trim wonder ball. David Murta goes down in a heap. 12 retaliated. Referee is coming over towards the sideline. David still on the ground. Ref calls 12. Be interesting to see what he does here. Very close towards the sideline. Rory, you comment on this. I don't like commenting my own.
Yeah, a bit of a retaliation there. I think Dave, just when the ball was going over the line, the two players clashed, and the Ratoath player ended up banging into the side fence there. But he retaliated. No need for that.
Just I observed earlier on, just before that play developed, both Jack and David were pulling and dragging each other. David signalling at the umpire, but there was nothing happening then. This incident occurred.
So ref still talking to number 12, Jack McGowan, and he gives him a yellow card. Well, the Trim people here are a bit disappointed with that. Personally, I think it was okay for what happened, but Munners has the ball. It's a free kick for Munners. He can be on the pitch. The Ratoath people, as usual, shouting down the sideline. Timmy Higgins gives the ball to Munners, who gives the ball across to Philo. Philo takes the ball into the tackle and has to retreat back again. Gives it on to James Murray. David Murta is free in the middle if he can find him. Bug has the ball, gives it on to David Murta, wins the ball again. David still on the ball, gives possession back out to Frankie. Frankie with the left will hand pass in towards James Cullen, who could take on his man here. Yes, he does. He goes inside the 21. Shot on, or a hand pass over the bar. Beautiful score by James Cullen. Lovely play by Trim. To make the score now with time almost up in the second half, in the first half. Trim 5 points, Ratoath 3 points. Grand spell of play there. Rory puts Trim in the ascendancy for the moment.
Yeah, we got a couple of good scores. As you mentioned already, CJ, the Trim forwards are doing very, very well. So we got to keep the ball down the centre of the field.
Kick out again from Ratoath. Well up Munners there, and himself and Dylan Finnerty. Munners kicks the ball in, and if it beats that man, no, it doesn't. It's collected by centre back, I think, who carries the ball down towards the middle of the field. Passes the ball then out now to number 11, Brian Daly, who's already scored 2 points. Gives it off the wing to Tiernan Dunn, who I think has gone back in a corner forward with Jack McGowan possibly switching. Owen Sweeney gathers the ball and is playing a grand game here from cornerback position. Gives it on to James Murray. James gives it, oh no, just 2 balls have dropped a little bit short for Shawnee Foley there. So Ratoath on the attack again. It would be nice if Trim could hold out just for the last couple of minutes to take the 2 point lead into the interval. Ratoath on the ball here in the middle of the field, gives the ball back to Ryan Kelly. Kelly is tackled by Mikey Cole. Back to 15, Nathan Dunn, who finds the midfield man there, John Walsh. Walsh takes the ball on towards the Trim 50-yard line. Owen Sweeney meets him there. Owen's playing a grand game for Trim. Back out all a bit horizontal here for Ratoath again. Very good defending by Trim. Back there to number 7, Gavin Horn. Horn looks up. So did he foul the ball? He almost did. Gives it to Brian Power. Back again here. They're just really going over and back the field. Ratoath. The Trim are nicely up tight to their men. Now a long ball comes in and it goes towards Jack McGowan, who's been marked by David Murta, who does well enough there. Jack McGowan stands up again. Ball towards the sideline. David Murta fouls him. It's a free in for Ratoath on the 14-yard line. This could be the last play of the first half. Over 30 minutes gone. McGowan plays a punted ball towards Munners' man Brian Power. Power finds Big Shawnee. Shawnee has left or right, has a kick, and I'd say that's Shawnee Johnson's. It's Ratoath's 7th wide of the game, and Johnson definitely has kicked 4 of them. They do well now to just half-time whistle and get out of jail here, or?
Yeah, absolutely. But the Trim defence are doing well. They're under a lot of ball going in there, but they're doing well. As you mentioned, Owen Sweeney having a great game there, cornerback.
Kick out from Pizzi. It's his first bad one of the game. Goes out over the far sideline at the dugout, where it's going to be taken by Ratoath. But Trim are up tight again with their players and forcing them into a long ball in there towards Jack McGowan again. McGowan gathers, but nicely dispossessed by David Murta, who takes the ball away from McGowan, takes it in out towards the 21 yard, gives a nice ball towards James Murray. Murray carries the ball forward, past the Trim 50-yard line. James is a lovely player on the ball, gives it to Dimmy. Dimmy takes it on again. We're trying this long ball again. I hope to win it. James Cullen gains possession. Very well done by James. Dimmy is making a marvellous move to the middle if he can find him. Cullen cuts in on the 14. Is he fouled? Back on the left foot. If it's a score, it's a great one, but it's a wide from James Cullen. Dimmy Higgins was wide open through the middle there. If he saw him quick enough, that could be the last play of the first half. Trim 5 points to 3 ahead. Almost 32 minutes played. McPartlin with the left foot will drive this out. I think the ref is going to blow the whistle for half time here. He has the whistle in his mouth. Barrett's stuck there, but I think it could be half time. Kick it out, and it is half time. So a very entertaining first half. We're going to be on screen here now. Rory wants the nice background of the pitch, John, if you don't mind. So Rory, very entertaining first half. Trim had to dig deep.
Refer to, but yeah, no, Trim are doing very well. They've been aggressive. Both teams have been aggressive. I mean, it's effectively a championship semi-final here, so you'd expect aggression and whatever. And I think the referee is letting the game go, and I think the players are responding to that, and they're playing accordingly. But ideal conditions here, and as you say, I think Trim are very happy to be in the lead at half time, because they certainly would have had not as much possession as Ratoath. So to keep that up and keep moving, if we can get our forwards, our key forwards on the ball, I still think Owen McGrath is going to have a key role to play in the second half.
I think it's a nicely balanced Trim team. Beatty has transitioned into the keeper spot very easily, having not played there all year. He had one bad kick out which went over the line. Every other kick out found his man, and he's marshalling the backs as well.
Yeah, well, you know, we've seen Petey play in goals. He's helped us out at juvenile level for many years in goals. So he is used to that position, even though he hasn't played there. But he's a very good fielder of the ball as well. So any high ball that'll drop in around the square, Peter, he'll have no bother fielding them. And then he'll also, as you say, marshal the defence, and he'll also be a spare man. He'll break off his line and take a ball from a fullback that's under pressure. So absolutely, Petey, he's certainly not weakened the team by going in there. Sure.
I think we have enough said for this half. We'll take a little water break ourselves. So join us again in about 5 minutes' time, and please God, Trim will keep the good work up. 5-3 ahead in a very entertaining first half. We'll talk to you then.